Hey yo, what's going on, carx family? It's your boy, Eric, whatever. I'm sorry, and I'm here to help you guys help with the transition from controller to wheel. So pretty much people have had a lot of problems with flooring it most of the time, stuff like that. So we're gonna go over the core basics. I've been drifting on wheels since well for about a year and a half now, so it's all I ever drift on. So first off, controls. Now, controls are all about personal preference, but I'm pretty sure when you got this 900-degree wheel that it's still set to 900, right? You don't have to use the full 900 if you don't want to. I use 180. I know you're gonna probably spit on me for the fact I use 180, but you could do 180 on the wheel rotation, which is this right here, steering wheel angle, 180. I'm working my way up to go to 360, but I just prefer 180 because I get tighter turns. I just like that. It's just like my skateboarding, just tight. Wheel force feedback, I set that at 8 because I drift for so long my wrist start to hurt, so I don't set it to full 10. I mean, unless it's good to have it on full 10 if you're doing 900, so that way you can feel all that force feedback to just bring it back. But I prefer 80. I mean, point 0.8. Everything else is standard except the linearity of the accelerator, which is at 1 because I focus on momentum drifting. So momentum drifting is where you focus on throttle control, so you get those long, smooth drifts, which of course takes time. So my preferred car I usually drift with is my Piranha X with some skin. Let's get into the tune of this bad boy first and foremost. It's on ultimate. General rule is I keep the front higher than the back, so 10 and 9. I keep my front so the thing is with the steering stiffness, you want to keep it as soft but not too soft so where you can still get a reaction. So the general rule is to go to 100 kn and then you just work your way down. But I usually set the front and the back with the same. It's either 100 or 80 or 90 or 70. Usually go down from there. I don't mess with none of this damper and none of that. I just leave that the way it is that it came. Front toe at -10, back toe +10. Um, the front camber is always -5 and below, and the back camber is always positive for more grip when you're going around corners. I usually set at 25, no more, no less. Your front and rear anti-roll bars are set pretty low, but I usually just keep it on 12 and 16. Caster, and the thing about caster is, and yes, I am riding on 90s. I used to do 100, but 90s feel way better on the 80H. But the more caster you have, the more slide you have. The thing with slide is, let's say you're doing Kami Road and you're sliding to the wall all the time. Let's say you're doing fucking what else? Navarro base is pretty good, but then again, you're just sliding into the walls all the time. So I usually set the caster at 8 and then work my way up between 8 to 9, 9.5. I don't go below 8 anymore. I tried 7. 7 is good if you have one of the heavy bodies, for sure. Ackerman angle, I usually keep it 75 and up, never below. Max steering angle, 19-inch rims on all my cars, 265. Is it 2? Yeah, it's 265. 265 is the drift standard. I usually start the front tire pressure at 120 and they go up by 0.5 increments. So 135 in the front, 15 in the back. 90s. Usually have the front wheel track more wider than the back. And 35 on the tire profile. Engine all in max. I don't really fuck with that sequential transmission just got there, but differential locking ratio is keep it 45. The final drive, if you hear a car going like at high rev, it's because they have the final drive a little bit more to the left and the right. The thing with final drive is if you keep it more to the left and the right, you have more acceleration, but not that much power. If you keep it more to the right to the left, you have more power, but not that much acceleration. So it's all about like how fast you want to go. I usually keep it dead, like almost close to the middle. I don't fuck with none of this gear shit. Brake torque I keep at 34. Front brake bias I keep at 85. ABS on. And I don't mess with launch controls. So now we're gonna get into some training. Show you guys a little of what I do here. I only, like I said, only drift first person, right? So when I'm drifting first person, the trick is you want to look for the white lines on the edges. Just follow the white lines and try to keep it centered. Throw that ass. Not the glitch out. It's probably from screen recording. But anyway, yeah. When people say hold off on the gas, it's because they're talking about throttle control. As you notice that I wasn't flooring it the whole time. That's why you gotta learn you gotta learn your tracks that you're doing. Because there's certain parts you gotta know when to floor it and when to just ease up just a little bit. Finding that golden line where it's like you have enough horsepower to keep going, but you're not throwing it out like that because you'll just be sliding around all over the place, doing that all the time. Like that's just it's not what you want. That's not what you want. So you know, but yeah, definitely with like every track. That's why I haven't tried the new tracks yet. I don't even know them, so I still have to do some training around them so I can figure them out and stuff like that. But I hope maybe this has helped you out. Any of my other skilled car instructors up in the up in the Facebook group, go ahead and leave your comments. Let me know if there's some things you can help some other people on. Maybe I helped you guys out from the transition. And just get your practice in. Work on that throttle control and feeling that force, that sweet, sweet force feedback when you're drifting around. All right, you guys have a good one. Have a blessed ass day, dude.